Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, Coach?
I kind of got confused on how we were going to start that, so I gave it a second.
Well, that is what we learned. That's what we
Yes.
learned last week. We learned we're going to have to pause a little bit after because there's some technical, it wants the scene right there and it doesn't want to give it up. So
Yes.
we pause a little bit and, then we let it do its thing. And then we say, good morning, everybody. It's so good to be with you. I am Coach Monica and I am joined today by Coach Darcy. Can I just talk for 1 second about the professionality of this whole entire gig? Like, can we just talk about it? Can we just talk about it? Because
we're amazing.
last week was a hot mess. So we are doing a thing. We haven't announced it yet. Today is the announcement day. So I think it's okay to talk to the book face about what we're doing, right? And the LinkedIn and the Instagram and all of those things, it's okay to talk about because the cat's out of the bag. And we're officially launching our drum roll. Thank you. Our podcast. So we knew last week we were going to launch our podcast. We knew it was coming and we were a little bit nervous. My beautiful daughter-in-law taught me how to do it. She gave me all the tools that we needed to do it. So we recorded, and what we thought we were going to record our podcast live, and we listened and re-listened to it last week. Do you want to talk about what happened?
So there's things called controls that we had no idea existed. We thought it was our microphones. We thought it was our volume. We thought, yes, when we get closer to our mic, we get louder. We thought that was because we were moving. But then we learned a valuable lesson that, there is another control of volume. So
there is. We have so much control right now under our fingers and these things that are in our ears. If you are live with us, you will see them. This is what Coach Darcy said. Monica, I think it's the sound. I said, no, it's not. I've got the controls over here. It's not the sound. It was the sound. So if you're listening to us, the whole 4 people that are listening to us, if you're listening to us, please give us some feedback on what you hear.
Yeah. Are we equal?
We're always equal in Jesus' eyes.
We might not sound the same. We're not going to sound the same, but volume-wise, just let us know.
Can I talk about something?
That you can't keep a secret?
I can't.
No. You can't. That's not what.
Can I talk about our new sister? This is totally random. But we just got a new sister this week. We're so stinking excited about it. Yeah. So I was working along. Actually, you and I were on the phone together having a staff meeting on Friday. And we get this text message from our brother that says, hey, at 1 o'clock, you're going to have a new sister. And we're like, and I just, of course, my blubberiness started crying. Do you have a heart of steel? You didn't cry at all.
It depends. I am great at controlling things, but then I'm not. I'm not that emotional. I'm emotional, but not you emotional.
I was emotional because we love her. She's an incredible sister.
She is amazing.
And so welcome to the family, Jody. I don't know if you listen to our lives. Probably not because you're really busy doing your real estate stuff.
Yeah, she's amazing.
But we're really excited about that. So so that happened Friday. Did anything else happen this week?
There were.
Goodness, when you sniff.
Don't worry, you're in my ears. You're literally right there. I I had things that, happened. But we don't need to talk about those things. Um,
Oh,
well,
okay.
be, because we lost a loved one, and I don't want to go into
Oh,
that.
oh,
So
okay. No, we don't
first
go to
that.
things that happen. Yeah,
That's
that's not
things
good.
that happened.
Let's don't go there.
Um, I would just say
I am so
no.
sorry for your loss, though. That
Thank
was
you.
that was horrible, horrible,
Yes,
and
yes.
that was,
It's
you bring up
devastating.
something. You bring up something that a lot of our clients face, and that's what do you do with your health journey in the midst of tragedy, and that is something that we deal with like on a daily basis. And so sometimes, when we personally go through it, helps us kind of empathize just a little bit more with our clients of, yeah,
Yes.
gosh, my world just crashed this week. What in the world do I do? That's another show, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah.
anything
That's
else happen this
my
week?
my Silas that struggles through school. Not because he's not smart, but he just learns differently.
Mm.
We didn't have much time to work on his spelling test this weekend. And he brings this paper home of a 13 out of a 13. I was like, what? Okay. So
Whoa!
yeah, my little man
Yay!
is, anyway, that
Yay!
things of a mother too.
Oh
Those
yeah,
those are
yeah.
things. How about
That's
you, coach?
awesome.
Other than getting a new sister, I thought I'd remind you of
Got
that.
a new sister. Got a new
Yeah.
sister. Oh,
Yeah.
it was so much fun. We took our dad to a bar. It was so much fun. Um, I don't think he had ever heard Kevin play before. And that man was so excited about his kid getting married. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to drive down there and celebrate with him tonight. You want to come? Oh yeah, he put his cowboy boots on and he was there and he powered through the pain like a champ.
Yeah.
So
The
I
the
didn't
man
see
does not
him.
go to bars.
He does
He
not go to
doesn't.
bars. No,
No.
no, he does
No.
not go to bars, but he was
No.
going to hear his son. And that
Yeah.
was really cool. I think it meant a lot to Kevin. So,
Yeah.
hey, today the title of our podcast did we talk about
We
that?
can
We kind of dropped
no.
hints.
We dropped. I don't know if did you say it? Because
I
you
don't think we
can't keep
did.
secrets.
I cannot keep a secret. And today's the
No.
announcement day. So,
Yes.
through all of the technical stuff we had last week, we decided, oh yes, I was telling you what I had done. So I figured out how to do a podcast and I put the sound on the podcast and I'm like, we did it. We did it. And we listened to it. It was so
So
horrible
bad. So bad.
that
It was
so that is no
terrible.
longer there, but that was a test run. It was a test run so we could figure out how to use the equipment. So on February 20th, you will be able to find Beyond the Scale. This is your hostesses, Coach Monica and Coach Darcy. Beyond the Scale, you'll find us
Yes.
on Apple, you'll find us on Spotify, you'll find us on our website, you'll find us on Facebook. We are launching our podcast on the 20th of
Yes.
February. So we are so excited for that.
We are.
So excited.
I'm really excited. We've been
Yeah,
talking about this for a really long time.
we have.
And
We have.
here's the thing. Here's the best thing of all, Monica. I guarantee that this idea, this whole thing about a podcast was on your vision board. And now we can mark
Oh,
it off.
oh my goodness. It's my vision board is right across there. Yeah, I think it is.
Maybe it's not
There's a
this year,
big
but
there's a
mine has
big
had
microphone.
oh,
There's a big
well by golly.
microphone on there. And look,
Look at that.
I got one.
Look
I
at,
got
and
one.
you got a whole new one, even though it wasn't the mic's fault.
It wasn't the mic's fault. I do like this one better
Oh,
though. I do feel
good.
more comfortable behind this mic. So yeah, we have spent 8 minutes just chatting away.
Hey, you know what? That's the difference between our podcast
That's
and
right.
this. This is like
That's right.
a, chit chat
Yeah.
with us, and then our
Yeah.
podcast is a little bit more like down to earth serious.
Mhm. Yeah,
Not
you want to get
serious,
rid of
but
the chit
serious.
chat, you want to get rid of the
Yeah.
goofy girls,
Go
you go
listen to our
listen to our
podcast.
podcast because yeah,
It's gonna be
it's
epic.
brilliant.
And
It's all
let's just talk about
uploaded.
the sound.
I know
It's all
the
uploaded.
sound.
The sound.
Our listeners are not saying a word about the sound. We were so
No, they
hoping.
did. They said that it's perfect and
I
that
hear you both.
they can hear us
Okay,
both.
all
Like
right.
they answered us.
I expected a
We were
little
just
bit more applause for our sound because not because we deserve it, but because our sound last week was so painful
it was
for our
so bad.
listeners.
My
It
ears are
was
still
like
bleeding from it.
it was painful.
It was
Yes.
painful. Hey, but
So
hey, wait.
yeah, yeah.
before we move on and talk about more about our podcast that's,
Mhm.
gonna be happening on
The 20th.
February 20th, not January, because
Mhm.
January has passed.
January.
I
Mhm.
tried to tell the secret about it being on the 20th, but I said it was January. My mother-in-law's like, "You mean next year?" I'm like, "No." What? Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
February 20th. But if
February.
you would like, follow, and share us here at Coach's Corner, that would
Mhm.
be amazing because without you and your participation and being able to share this out,
Mhm.
we would be stuck
We would.
right
We
here.
we would.
Right
You
here.
know the difference between a podcast and going live? Our clothes. We got to
Oh, yeah.
remember we cannot get them switched. We cannot get those flip-flopped because we're on camera today. We were
I
not
feel like
yesterday.
Darcy comes as she is no matter where she is and what she does. Here
Oh
I am,
gosh.
y'all. I
So
did wash
we
my
want
hair.
to go back to basics, okay?
Yeah.
So not only with a podcast that we're starting on February 20th, but we want to go back to the basics. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with all of the commercials, with all of the things that we have done. You and I have gotten overwhelmed with our studies. We
Yeah.
like to be on top of the studies. We like to know the latest science, the latest data because we need it for our clients, right? And
Yes.
so sometimes even we get overwhelmed. And we realized, Coach Darcy mentioned something to me as we were planning, mentioned, why don't we go back to the basics? We have to introduce ourselves to our podcast audience. Why not go back to the basics with our old folks too? Our old
Mhm.
folks, our long
No, you are
term,
young. You're
our
young and
long term
beautiful, folks.
listeners. So today we're going to talk about starting your keto journey. Now, you're going to need to listen to the first podcast because we introduced this yesterday when we recorded. However, we're going to take it, we're going to stretch it out just a little bit, okay? So, we're going to talk about two things you can do. I'm just making this up as we go. Two things we can do to start our ketogenic journey. And then you're going to launch us over to another conversation about what keto is not. We
So,
believe
like
that those,
Mythbusters.
yeah,
We're gonna do
yeah,
Mythbusters.
we are going to
Okay.
do
I love
Mythbusters.
it. I'm on
We
page
believe
here.
both sides are needed. Like, you've got to
Mm.
know where to start, and we're going to give you like the top two things. So basically, you're going to have to come back next week to talk about, obviously, we did more than two things to get started, but the two most important things to get started. And then we're going to branch off from that. And we're going to debunk some of the keto myths because a lot of
Mm.
you have experienced it. That relative that thinks she's a nurse that comes and says, "Oh, I tried that keto thing. Did you know you're going to die?" You know? So we're going to debunk some myths today. So I'm going to talk about the first thing I did to get started, and then you're going to talk about the first thing you did to get started, and that's going to be our two things. So the
Okay.
first thing I did to get started was I dropped the sugar. Period. I just dropped the sugar. I had no macros. I had no knowledge of the ketogenic lifestyle. I just knew the connection between sugar and cancer, and sugar and inflammation, and sugar and weight gain. So that's the first thing I did for the first 6 months. And that is a misnomer. We talked about this yesterday. That's a misnomer. When people look at my before and after picture when I was 250 pounds, they think that I just jumped into the ketogenic lifestyle and I just did everything perfectly and I was done in 6 weeks. Complete falsity. The first thing I did for the first 6 months is I just eliminated sugar. Period.
Mm.
End of
Yeah.
story. What did you do first?
So we take this on a different platform here where I went through your program.
Mm.
So first of all, I said yes to uh, following whatever you were having me to do. But I basically purged everything in my pantry, which is not.
Mm.
We don't suggest that for our clients. But I did. I'm an extremist. I think that might be
Mm-hmm.
me.
You are. You
I'm
are.
slightly,
All or
slight,
nothing.
all or nothing. But I took away all the temptation. I still had my kids' food. Like, yeah, I was able to keep that there, but
Mm-hmm.
I purged my pantry. I went through everything, and I said that Mark and I did this together. So one of our date nights was we went to Meijer and we kind of grieved everything that we used to eat. We looked at the ingredients. We're like, I can't believe
Mhm.
that this has so much crap in it. And our hearts were broken, but then we moved on.
Mhm.
So that's the rundown of where I started.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got rid of everything.
Yep.
Here is
Yep.
a freebie. It's okay if you want to start to take a multivitamin.
Oh
Totally
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Dr. Berg said something that has stuck with me for a long time, and he said you have to get healthy in order to lose weight. And I found that to be so true. And I'm just one second here. I am fixing my technology. It was so true because as a 250-pound person, I was undernourished. I was malnourished. I was so unhealthy that my body was tired. It was worn out and I had no energy. And so I had to get that energy before I could even start my journey. And so that's
Mhm.
something that I like to tell a lot of people, that you can do is get healthy before you start to lose weight. Um, so here we go. I'm gonna share
Are you
this.
good? Oh, okay. I
I
was
am
like, are you
good.
okay?
I'm good.
All right.
So let's talk about some things. So when we started this keto lifestyle, we had some of those people in our lives who were usually typically in the healthcare world, who
Mhm.
have only had about an hour's worth of nutrition training and who watch the news on a nightly basis and say that keto thing is going to kill you.
Yeah.
So what we
Because
want to
there's
do
that
now,
word of ketoacidosis. If it has
uh
the word
huh,
in it, it must be linked together, right?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not.
or you're eating so much meat, you're going to clog your arteries, all of that stuff. And so
Cholesterol.
cholesterol. We need to do an
Cholesterol.
entire show
We
about
will.
cholesterol.
We
I
will.
feel like I feel the imposter syndrome when we talk about that because I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on the internet.
Right. Right.
Although I think sometimes we use our brains a little bit more on certain topics, So I
Mhm.
feel like the imposter syndrome probably is not you know what I
Right.
mean.
Right.
So, talk to us, Darcy, about we got some things
We got five.
that we have five things.
Five things. That's it.
What
We're not giving you
what
any more.
keto is not? No, we're not going to give you more, even if I think of one at the end of the show.
Yes.
We're not.
Yes.
So, do you want
Well,
to go first?
no, you can go first.
I can go first.
You can go
So,
first.
okay. So let me think about
What
the
would they be number one?
number one thing. You are eating all this fat, and your
Hmm.
arteries are going to clog up. Okay.
Is that a
This
myth?
is not, it is a myth. Keto is not just a high fat diet. Keto emphasizes fats, healthy
Mhm.
fats, not fried foods, but healthy fats, emphasizes it. Here's the secret. This whole, the soapbox is coming. These
I'm ready.
people who are doing the for weight loss are so excited about the GLP-1. That's the rave right now.
Yeah.
GLP-1, you lose the food noise. We were cool before that was cool because the ketogenic diet, when you emphasize the healthy fats, and it's not just consuming any fats in high quantities, it's consuming healthy fats like avocados, like olive oil, those kinds of things. The quality and the source matter on that, and focusing on the healthy fats, it engages the GLP-1 factor from your stomach to your brain saying, I am full.
Mhm.
If you are hungry on the ketogenic lifestyle, you are not doing macros and you're not doing your healthy fats. So, the cool thing, we were cool before the kids were cool, except we do it without chemicals. We do it
Right.
naturally. We
Yeah.
engage the GLP-1 factor, and that is what you lose your food noise with. So, it is not just about eating all fats. It's not just a high fat diet. We utilize fat as a tool to keep ourselves from being hungry. You have to
Yeah.
eat fat to lose fat, period.
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't mean you eat a stick of butter though.
You
That's for sure.
don't? Oh,
No.
people, I've seen memes out there of
Yes, I
keto
have to.
people licking a stick of butter and eating a pound of bacon. That is not the case. That is completely false.
Because that going into that would be where I would take the next one
Mm-hmm.
is that you can eat whatever you want, the
Mhm.
amount that you want, which means there's a lot of recipes and ways to get around things with
Mhm.
cheese and sometimes proteins and where you're overeating the amount of dairy because it's a
Mhm.
binder. Yeah, you can make bread out of it, all these things, but
Mhm.
that does not give you the freedom to eat however much you want. That's not
No.
how it works.
Nope.
So you know we don't need to be eating, 6 meals a day. We don't need that.
Mhm.
We don't do meals like that. We don't need
Mm-mm.
snacks. We don't need to feel like a panic if we don't have, almonds in our purse or a meal in our purse for in between we just our lunch our breakfast and lunch. Like we don't need that.
Mhm.
Um so if you are not, which brings me into the calorie area. If you're wanting to lose weight, you're going to have to track
Yeah.
and you're going to have to take control of, how much of things that you are
Mhm.
consuming.
It's
And
not unlimited.
it's not unlimited and people think, "Oh, I can eat all this and I'm losing weight." Cool. You might be able to eat all this dairy now, but you're probably going to get stopped up in the BM department and
Mhm.
two, you're going to eventually get stalled.
Well, yeah, and let me explain that scientifically. So, a
Yeah.
lot of people say who don't have coaches and are just like, I'm just desperate to lose weight. I'm trying to lose weight. And so I'm just going to go eat cheese and meat. They don't
Mm,
know what they're doing when they start this lifestyle. And suddenly they're losing like 15 pounds. And they're like, yes, they're so excited. And they're like, see, it works. And then they hit that 15-pound mark and then they stall. And they're like, well, I'm eating keto. What's wrong? Well, they're eating unlimited amounts. And what happened in the first part of their journey is they lost a lot of water weight.
yeah.
They lowered their insulin. So that is what's working. They lowered their insulin and they lost a lot of water weight. And when it comes down to it, you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's why we're also macro coaches, right?
Yes. And then they get to that 15 pounds, like, see,
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't work.
Right. And they quit.
That's when they quit.
Mm-hmm.
They quit.
Yeah.
I mean, they quit
Yeah.
when yeah. So that's kind of the intro for that one.
Mm-hmm.
What would be another myth that you've heard?
I've heard that it's a fad diet.
Mm,
Keto is just a fad diet. First of all, we eat the way our ancestors ate. So
mhm.
this has been around for centuries. We eat the way that our when they were the cavemen were out there trying to hunt for their food. We eat exactly how they ate. So the fad diet is actually what happened in the 60s when the government got involved with the food pyramid and these politicians were bought and sold and paid for to create this food pyramid that's killing our people. That's the fad diet. The low fat diets are the fad diets. And what's happening with that diet is people are becoming obese.
Mhm.
Our lifestyle was created in the caveman days. And so it's not a quick fix. It is not a quick fix because it requires a commitment. And that goes back to that person who's lost 15 pounds. And because she's not eating right or he's not eating right, she has stalled her scale and she quits. So, this is a long term solution to a problem that we've had for centuries upon centuries, and that's obesity. And
Mhm.
so, keto is not just a temporary fix, it is a lifestyle. It is a commitment for the rest of your life. That is where we coaches come in and say, okay, tell us what food you're missing. Because we can probably replace it. We can
Yep.
probably fix that food that you are missing, and so that will be a lifestyle. That will be a lifetime commitment.
Yep.
So it is not a quick fix. It is not a fad diet, and it requires commitment.
Yes.
And it's actually a thing where your body completely completely changes energy sources. So when your body changes that energy source and you start running on ketones, you kind of realize, oh my gosh, this is like feeling like a little bit like Superwoman here. You can do things that you haven't done before, but when your commitment isn't there, it can be rough go at the
Yeah.
front.
You
By the
kind
way,
of
if you're listening and you have been accosted with people telling you that keto is not sustainable or the keto is this, keto is that, drop them in the comments. What excuses have you heard your friends and family use that they think keto is that it's really not? Drop it in
right.
the comments. All
So
right, coach, what is another one?
the next one that we have would be that keto is a no carb diet. That's a,
Mhm.
that's a good one because that's carnivore. No carb is
Mhm.
carnivore.
Mhm.
Carnivore, not keto. Um, when you food science is that food has carbs,
Yes,
especially like your fruits and vegetables. Those have
exactly.
carbs. We're not just talking about bread, y'all. Yeah, bread has a
Mhm.
lot of carbs. We're talking
Mhm.
about the quantity that each food broken down, the micronutrients, is that right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
micro and the
Yeah.
macronutrients, all of those, all those combined, like we have to think about those things. So
Mhm.
when we say that we are a no carb, that's false. We are a low carb and we control
Mhm.
how many carbs that we consume a day.
Mhm.
Um, and so that is also a reason for that. The science behind that is that there's a certain amount of carbs that
Mhm.
one would consume that allows their body to do that metabolic switch from keto
Mhm.
or ketosis to a carb sugar burner. So your
Right.
body does both of those. Where go
Which
ahead,
is about 30 to 50,
is it? Yeah, yes. It
depending on
depends
the
on who
person.
you are.
Yeah.
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 So it that kind of goes alongside that. I don't really have more
Yeah.
to say about that one.
No, no, that's
I'm done.
good.
I'm done.
Yeah. No, that's good. Because that's a big thing, and it kind of goes along with what Courtney's saying here on Facebook. Um, and I'll post it here. It's not good for your body to be in ketosis for a long period of time. Did you know we were born in ketosis?
Yeah,
Everybody
little
says
babies.
ketosis is such a,
Mhm.
yeah. We were born in ketosis, the body's preferred source, the deep down energy. This is why we don't get that 2 o'clock nap crashing moment when you're in ketosis, because your body actually prefers to run on its own body fat and the
Yeah.
ketone source. That's why you feel so amazing when you are in ketosis. Now,
Yes.
for weight loss trickery, sometimes what I do with my clients is I will kick them out of, I don't kick them out of ketosis, but they will kick themselves out of ketosis because it gets the scale moving quicker. So there's little tips and tricks that we have, where we can, kick you out. I kick myself out of ketosis once a week. I go out on a date with my hubby, have a baked potato, kick myself out once a week because it jolts the metabolism, go right back into ketosis, and I'm feeling amazing. So,
And the more you do
um,
that, the better
mhm,
your body adapts to that. It
yeah.
just does that metabolic switch real quick.
Yeah. So, really quick, let's go to our commercial. We are at minute 27. So, we're
Mhm.
going to go to our commercial. If you're like, well, let me know. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to eat. We have prepared 30 days. 30 days of
Mhm.
a menu plan, 30 days of a grocery shopping list. It's a really, really cool program. We've created that for the beginners so that they can kind of dabble and kind of see, all right, I actually can do this for life. So we will be back in about 30 seconds, and we're going to talk about one of the last ones about protein. Because a lot
Mm.
of people say, you're on that Atkins thing, aren't you? Oh, no, we're not on Atkins. So we're going to talk about protein when we come back. All right.
Hey,
If you
coach.
didn't,
We need to work on the volume on that one.
I know. Whew. If you missed the QR code on that
Yes.
commercial, at the top left here side of the screen, you're going to find a QR code. You will be able to find the Empower Eats program on our website. I know.
I
We're going
might
to
not
be,
hear later.
what?
That was
Yeah.
so loud.
Woo.
Oh my goodness. So coach,
Oh.
talk about this last one that we have for everybody as we close out about proteins.
So, a lot of our clients have come and said, I tried that Atkins thing for a while and I tried it and I lost some weight, but I couldn't sustain it. And is that what you do? Is that what you do, when you're on that keto thing? Is that can you eat as much protein as you want? Now, we personally figure out protein for our clients because that is the most important macronutrient of the bunch. When it, that and fats is there's two essential macros, and that's protein and fats. Carbs, you do not have to have one single carb in order to live. And that's another misnomer out there that you have to have their essential carbs. There are no essential carbs. There are essential fats and there are essential proteins. However, you can have too much protein. This is not an Atkins free for all thing. This is a percentage that your body wants. Now, one of the questions we ask our clients is, do they work out? Are they in menopause? My menopause and perimenopause women have about 25% protein. It's
Mhm.
about one on one with them. Okay. And we don't deal with losing the hair because there's no protein. We don't deal with that. We don't go near that. But you can have too much protein. Too much protein can turn to glucose. Glucose will spike your insulin. In the presence of insulin, you
You
cannot lose
cannot.
weight.
Nope.
So, yes, you can have too much protein, and we are very, very cautious when we work with our clients on that.
Yes.
Did we miss any?
Well, the last one we have, and I think this just, we don't like to put people in boxes. So
Mm-hmm.
what happens is that people say that this is easy for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's not. It's not easy for
It's not.
everyone.
If you're a food
Um,
addict, this is not easy. But
yeah,
any lifestyle you choose is not going to be easy,
right.
right?
Right. So, knowing that this is not easy for everyone and that this is not just a lifestyle that you can put people in a box and
Mm-hmm.
say, this is the way to do it and it should work for you the same way it works for Sally,
Right.
it doesn't work that way. That is,
It
you're right, Courtney. It is not.
is not.
It is not. And so you have to have, it depends on who you are. Like you might have to have more of a mindset, a
Mm-hmm.
drive, or some people, yeah, it does work easy. For men, yeah, it does. Like they can look at changing their lifestyle
Yeah.
and they lose weight. So because that's the way it works. But for women, it just seems to be, and it always will be, a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
So once
This
we
is why
get
we do what we do.
yeah, we find the science for them, that we collect the
Mm-hmm.
data on you personally, and we create a program around how you work and what your body personally needs. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when somebody says, "What's keto?" I struggle having like a good definition for what it is
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like it's different for everybody.
Yeah. It
So
is. Therapeutic keto versus dirty keto.
yeah,
Does it work? Dirty keto work for some people, and that's when you're not watching your ingredients like you are
yeah,
with therapeutic keto. Yeah, because at the end of the day, a calorie deficit is the calorie deficit. So if you're tracking your macros, that's going to work.
yeah,
What the miracle of the ketogenic lifestyle is it's healing your body metabolically. You are working on metabolic issues. You're reversing type 3 diabetes, type 2
yeah,
diabetes. You're reversing PCOS. You're reversing insulin resistance. You're doing all of those things, but it's not easy, and that's why we do what we do. You can go find anything on the internet,
yep,
right?
yeah.
But what is hard is to find what you need bio individually,
Mhm.
and that's why we do what we do.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, Monica, but before you found keto,
Mm-hmm.
um, when with my MLM company that I was a part of,
Uh huh.
they were introducing this to me, and it took me a week to realize that oh, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go keto,
Mm-hmm.
and so I did the research. I did the basics.
Mm-hmm.
It's how a lot of people typically start, and they learn the basics of okay, what does this mean? What do I need to eliminate?
Mm-hmm.
But my goodness, it was not the way it didn't work. I was
Mm-hmm.
weak.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't wanna do it anymore, and it so then when I decided that joining a program
Mm-hmm.
where it was easily laid out, I you taught me what it meant, what I needed to focus on,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't just about food.
Yeah.
It was about
Yeah.
the other parts of the body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
Um, so that was the only reason why I had
Mm-hmm.
sustainable
Yeah.
long-term change is because
Yeah.
I worked
A
on
lot of those companies wanted to give us pills.
Yeah.
The MLM company I worked for tried to say that they're weight loss pills and there was a carb burner. There's no such thing as a carb burner, y'all. All you're doing when
Mm-mm.
you buy those products, and I've been guilty of buying them. I have gummies in my drawer that says they're ketone producing gummies. No, they're not. It is a bunch of it's a
Synthetic.
bunch of yeah, junk.
Yeah.
And there is no such thing as a carb burner. There's no such thing as a fat burner. There's no such thing as any of those things. But the
Yeah.
companies, and you know me, I'm a capitalist, bless their hearts, but they're hurting people because they're
Mhm.
they're making it seem like you can get rid of your body fat with a pill. You
Yeah.
cannot. You
And
cannot. It's
it
hard
comes
work.
down to the combination of foods. Let
Mhm.
your body create those ketones. Let your body create
Mhm.
those things of, being able to
Yeah.
burn off the
Your
fats.
body
Like
can handle it.
it can. It can
It's
heal
gotcha.
itself.
It's
It knows how to
gotcha.
do it. Yeah.
Exactly. Danita says it's hard, but you choose your hard. And
Yeah.
absolutely. And you choose your hard either on the front side or the back side. You choose one of those shortcut companies, you're gonna lose weight on the front side, but you're gonna gain it back. It's gonna come raging back faster than you can catch up with it, and then you've thrown all of that money away.
Mhm.
So do the hard things on the front side, learn to change your lifestyle on the front side, and find people who to follow who it's worked for. I don't know how many people follow health coaches who've never had a weight problem in their entire life, and they're telling these people that they can eat anything they want in
Yeah.
moderation. Well, let me tell you, if you're a food addict, you cannot eat anything you want in moderation because you will go on a 30-pound sugar binge.
Yeah.
If you have an eating disorder and you have a binge eating disorder, you can't eat anything you want because it's going to lead you down to a 30-pound sugar binge. And
Mhm.
so make sure you're following people who have done it, and
And
not only who've done it, but kept it off.
yes. Yes. I know that other categories, such as even workout trainers, have the same issues
Mm-hmm.
where somebody brings them a picture of somebody who is, really fit,
Mm-hmm.
has these 9 pound or nine packs,
Yeah.
because that's Batman. Batman has 9 pack. But they take them like, "I wanna look like this," but they've never had like, they're putting them in a box, like,
Yeah.
they're trying to train them and working on, having a bigger butt or a stronger butt, but that's just not how it works.
No, it's not
So
how it works.
you can't work out to fit that I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Anyway,
and
so they others
the other
have the
problem
problem.
that we're having, as people who have done this and have kept it off for 7 years, the other thing we're experiencing as health coaches is people are losing weight on that so fast that they are diverting the attention of the people who are trying to do it the right way and
Mhm.
do it the way that's going to keep it off. But because their friends are watching their friends shrink, they don't know the other side of that. They don't know the trauma that that friend is going to go through when they can't afford the anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going to gain this weight back so fast that it's going to send them on a tailspin. They don't see that side of things. And so that's one thing health coaches in our health coaching world who are doing it the right way are experiencing. And very, very sadly, we know the end result for those people. And so that kind of lifestyle doesn't shake us up as a business, and as the CEO of this company, it doesn't shake me up because I am preparing right now for the influx of what's going to happen when those
Mhm.
horrified people come back to us.
Yes.
Their metabolism completely crashed. I am having to stop the company right now to prepare for the influx of those people. And I'm having to plan on hiring new coaches to take care of those people because we're not leaving our people. We're
Right.
not leaving the people that are doing it right. And so, and that was one of my clients yesterday said, "Hey, she started to get nervous of, hey, am I going to lose you when these people who are regaining the weight come back in because I need you?" I'm like, "Oh no, honey. No, that's not the way it works. Our
I
schedule
didn't
is
think about
protected."
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at the projections of this company and the future of this company and thinking, how am I going to protect our current clients from the influx of people whose worlds have crashed? And that's what's happening. I just posted, if you follow me on Facebook, I just posted a horribly crushing video
Mm.
of what's happening to people on Ozempic. And it is, the ones who are on it are protecting it so much because the pounds are falling off for them. But what they're not telling you is these side effects that are happening from Ozempic and from those weight loss drugs are not happening until like 9 months later. And so they're all confident because they're feeling good right now. And then suddenly their stomach crashes. It's
Mhm.
like playing Russian roulette. And so I've had to stop the projections of my company in order to put a program together to help those people. And it is scary. It's scary. So if you know of anybody looking for a job, I am hiring at this point. It's called the GLP-1 recovery
Yeah.
program,
Yeah.
um, and reverse dieting program. It's really, really
Yeah.
scary. So be very careful. Understand that this lifestyle that we're choosing to live and that we're teaching and that we're personally living ourselves is not easy. It's not easy. It can be challenging and it requires very, very careful planning. So we love you enough to tell you. A lot of
Mm.
people are like, well, why are you so negative on those things? We love you enough to tell you because we sit with women and men. We sit with them every day for 9 hours. Yesterday, I opened the office at 10 a.m. and started sitting with people. We recorded our podcast. I left my office, turned the lights off on my office at 10 p.m.
Mm.
We sit with people for hours every day. We hear their stories. We hear the crushing lives that they're leading and the desperation of changing their lives. And so we know the end of the story. It's just heartbreaking
Yeah.
to see what's happening right now.
And it's unfortunate that, one of the biggest issues of that is the pressures of the people around them.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
where the mindset of that. So, um,
I
don't
had three I had three intake calls last week from women who said, "My sister didn't want me to call you. She wants me to go on the shot." Can you imagine? I pray that sister is just uninformed about
yeah,
what that shot does because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
right.
But that's what's happening is these people and in our whole clientele base has family members saying, "Hey, I heard about this shot. Why don't you do that?" And now they're selling it. All right, one more thing that's going to explode your brain because we started the podcast talking about MLMs. They are creating this weight loss shot as an MLM. Like I don't know if you're on TikTok or if you spend much time on there, but those people who are doing lives and talking about the GLP-1 and they're doing their shots live and they're talking about the benefits, it's an MLM situation. They're getting paid to do that.
Ah,
Talk about mind blowing.
yeah.
We're going to create pharma into an MLM company. Where are politicians on this?
Right?
Rudy, where are you?
When it all comes down to the combination of what we can eat
Mm-hmm.
and giving up the things that are destroying our bodies.
Yeah,
They don't want to give up those things that are destroying their body. They're going to add something else on top of that.
right. Yeah.
So you wonder why you're sick.
And it's coming. It's coming. We're
Yeah.
seeing it happen now. And I'm on this
Yeah.
private Facebook group that breaks my heart. It's called The Side Effects of Ozempic. And the stories in there, people are going blind. I mean, the stories in there are just horrific. And I kind of don't want to be in there. One of our clients invited me in there, and I kind
Yeah.
of don't want to see it, but I can't unsee it. And it's
Right.
just really sad. So
Let's go
take
natural.
control.
Let's
Take
go natural
control of your, eat
first.
a steak.
Yeah.
Eat a
Eat a
gosh darn
steak.
steak, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. How did you like the sound? Everybody, was it okay?
I hope it
Was the
was
sound? I
fine.
hope it was okay because we're working really hard.
Lord knows we don't need to hear Darcy that's already loud. We don't need to hear her even louder than what she is. So
Oh my goodness. So we don't
just
want to hear Monica breathing either. I think as of right now, we're going to keep the podcast and live separate because it was
yes.
really a lot less stressful for us to do
Yes.
that yesterday. And
Different topics.
we got our content out that we needed to. So
Yeah.
if you have not, make sure you go over to Spotify, make sure you go over to Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast, you will find it. It's called Beyond the Scale.
Yes.
Beyond the Scale Weight Loss. And there's a lot of Beyond the Scale. So ours is Beyond the Scale Weight Loss and Wellness
Yes.
with Coach Darcy and Coach Monica.
You gotta get that right because
Yeah.
there's a lot. There was a lot.
There
But we
was a
couldn't think of
lot.
another
I
name
was
that we
concerned.
just liked it.
I was concerned about that. So I'm hoping that there's no like
Yeah.
trademark issues or anything like that. But it's weight loss and wellness.
The name could change.
If it suddenly changes, you know.
Look up KM Health Coaching. Look that up.
February 20th.
Yes.
I think it's at 1 p.m. is our first release.
Is it?
So I
You
think
have that
so.
all set up.
I think so.
I'm just there within my in the mic. That's where I am.
Guys, you're loved. If you need help, if you are frustrated with slow weight loss, if you have crashed your metabolism, if you are eating like a bird and you're not losing weight, you may have to reverse your diet. You may have to step in and do some pretty drastic things. If you are there and you need help, please up there is our QR code.
Mhm.
Just pop your little phone up there, take a picture of that, and reach out to us. And what we're requesting now is our schedules. Coach Darcy and I, again, did I mention I'm hiring? Coach Darcy and I are overwhelmed right now with people desperate for help. So, what we are recommending is that you schedule a free health consultation with us first,
Yes.
because that way you're not put in the wrong program. That way you are put in the exact program that you need. We can hear your heartbeat first before we put you in there. And so I really recommend, and that QR code above here will take you to the homepage of our website. Click on coaches, go choose your coach. She's got her own little schedule there. That's how you do it. So schedule your free health consult and talk to us before, because here's the thing, you will be denied the program if you're not eating. If you're coming from one of those, or if you're coming from Optavia, we cannot put you in on a regular program because you've broken yourself. You've broken your metabolism. We have to reverse your diet first. So that is the wrong program for you if you have
Mhm.
crashed your metabolism.
We don't put
So
people in boxes.
we do not put you in a box. So individually, and honestly, we're going to have to figure out as the company grows how we're going to do these free health consults. But right now, we currently have our schedules open. Coach Darcy, a little more so than mine. I just realized that yesterday as I looked at my schedule. I'm like, ooh, all right.
Everybody wants a
Keeping this
Monday call.
keeping this coach busy. All right, guys, you're loved. We'll see you next Tuesday, Tuesday morning, 11. Every Tuesday morning, 11. We're live. And so we will see you next Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yes.